Hello, this is Cats Diamond Painting. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've joined me here before. I'm here today to kit up my next project. I am finally nearing the end of Solar System, which I have been working on since, I don't know, late July, I think. I didn't take it on holiday with me in August, but actually it took me about a month to do even half of it, which is super slow for me. It was just so busy in the summer holidays. So I've loved it. Really enjoying how it's looking and enjoying working on it, but also I'm a little bit sick of it because I didn't expect to be spending that long on just a medium-sized kit. Anyway, so the next thing that I want to work on is my pick for a Halloween kit this year, and I'm going to do To Grandmother's House We Go by Margarita Yermolaeva. Sorry, I've butchered that, haven't I? I picked this one because I've had it a long time. I got this, I think, in the Black Friday sales 2022, if I remember correctly. And it's only 51 by 66 centimeters. So after spending quite a long time on Solar System, I kind of don't want to start a huge project next. And the other Halloween kits I have, whilst gorgeous, are both much bigger kits. So I thought I'd do this one because I love this one. Like, it didn't come out as a Halloween release, as I said, it was Black Friday, but it's very much in that theme. So I will quickly show you it, but to see a proper unboxing of it, you would need to go back to my video for Black Friday releases in 2022, which I can try and link above if you would like to see more of it. So it came with obviously the older style of toolkit. And it just looks like such a fun project. So I get the drills out, really hoping they're not going to be staticky because I haven't prepped them or anything. But yeah, let me show you the canvas. Okay, these cats are so absolutely adorable. So you've got the witch in the background with her house waving off the cats, and yeah, I don't know where that name came from. To Grandmother's House We Go. Is it referencing a fairy tale or something like that? I'm notoriously bad at picking up on these sort of things, but yeah, I just really enjoy this one. It also looks like it will be pretty blocky, so I don't think it will be too slow going, which again helps for the reasons I've mentioned. It's quite a lot of dark colours. That might get a bit wearing. If it does, then I've got plenty of time to finish this before Halloween, so I can maybe switch out to one of my other whips if I need a break, but hopefully not. It's only got 46 colours, which it's a lot of colours still, but yeah, these days they tend to come out with so many colours that feels quite different. Let me show you the top as well. It's got 4 ABs. It looks like a red, a yellow, a blue and a white. Obviously that moon is going to be glowy with ABs and the stars through the sky, as you'd expect. And yeah, I just think it's going to be really adorable. Okay, so without further ado, let me get on to kitting up. So the first thing I'm going to do is to, well, discard my thank you leaflet. I don't need that. And then I'm going to cut my sticker sheet so that I can keep this section and just have it to sort of label my storage container. And then I can use the sticky labels for my drill containers. And I thought for this one that I would use my storage organizer from Diamond Art Club. Diamond Art Club very kindly sent this over to me, and I did unbox it a little while back if you want to check it out and see my thoughts on it. And yeah, it's got 54 containers, which is plenty, except for what I was just saying about how a lot of projects these days come out with more. And I have a lot of storage, so I don't think I'm likely to buy another of these. Because that's, you know, what you tend to do if you've got a project with a lot of colours. You have a few and you mix and match. That's what I do with my Elizabeth Ward style ones. But yeah, I don't have that. So I thought that this would be a good chance to get this one in use. So that would be interesting because obviously I've never kitted up into these before. So I've got 3 sizes here. So I'm going to work through my drill bags in order of the size of the drills and start with the biggest ones and then go to the medium ones. And then I think it will be the small ones that maybe aren't filled, because I'd prefer to have containers underfilled than overfilled. So yeah, that is the plan. Let's get my drills out. And I always like to have a bowl on hand just to put all my rubbish in. And I've got a tray to kit up over. I did want to use round storage pots because I have that funnel that I bought that I showed in my last small shop showcase, and I really wanted to try using that. But then this was the storage container that I actually had free, and in the end laziness won. So we're going with that. So this looks to be the biggest bags. So these will start to go in my big pots. Where's my scissors? Scissors! Scissors would help as well, Cat. And straight away, there is so much of this 938 that it's not going to fit. And knowing that I'm going to not fill all of these, I'm actually tempted to put that in 2 containers. Ooh, I don't normally do that, but I think that would work quite well. Let me get these divided up and see where we're up to. So yeah, there's not too many colours that have enough drills that I'm going to run out of these big ones, I think. So that's what I'm going to do. Right. So, how is everyone? It has been absolutely ages since I've done one of these. I say that at the start of every one as well because I don't do them that often. I've really got out of the habit of doing Wip'n'Chats. I think because in the days, now, what's the best way to do this? Do I just cut off the numbered bit? Do I put it there? Because I was going to put the label on the white bit, but then actually that might come up. As long as there's room on the small ones when I get to, yeah, okay. I'm going to put it below. There we are, right in the middle. Yeah, I've got out of the habit of doing Wip'n'Chats because most often at the moment in the daytime, I don't have time to sit down and diamond paint because I'm really busy with my shops. So yeah, I don't often do those. So that means that I just do these when I do a kitten chat, which isn't super often. Oh no, static. Right, let me get the dryer sheets. See, this is what confuses me when people say static is mostly about climate, because this has sat in my cupboard for almost 2 years. It has sat through a variety of temperatures and weathers and that kind of thing, but like the majority of them will not have been that dry because the UK isn't dry. Put on a dehumidifier in this house and it often says that we're at about 90% humidity. So yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't think I understand the science of it all very well. But it's annoying to me that these are still staticky after so long past being in transit. Right, let me blow in this to release these. The thing I find most effective for releasing static is what I just did there, which is to blow into the bag, which adds, see how easy they came out, adds moisture from your breath into them, and then that moisture combats the static. So that is the nice easy way of doing it. However, It's, even if I wasn't trying to chat at the same time, it gets old doing that into every single bag. I end up getting lightheaded. But also it's just not very practical when I'm filming a video. Right, I'm going to put another of these in and then give them a bit of a shake. And hopefully that will start to settle by the next time I come to them. I'm just going to put them all back in there any old how, and then I will organise them later. So yes, it's been ages. I don't get around to these videos very often. So I've got loads of stuff to catch you up on, I would think. Where to start? Well, we've just had the summer holidays in the UK, which my son was off for about 6 weeks, and he's just gone back last week. So today is Monday and he went back last Wednesday. So he is now in year 6, which in the UK is the last year of primary school. So you start primary school, most kids start in reception when they're about 4, maybe coming up to 5, and they're there until they're 11, and then the next step next year is high school. So we are going to be applying for high school for my little baby boy, and I really don't know how I feel about it. Well, I do know how I feel about it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I'm just, you know, I'm doing that parent thing of just, I love for him that he's growing up and, you know, his world is widening. But for me, I'm just, yeah, feeling nostalgic. So it's a good thing we still have a year to go, because I'll be a mess this time next year probably. So yeah, he's had the whole summer holidays at home, which has been really nice but hectic. I've said in previous videos that I was in the very fortunate, very privileged position that for most of my son's life, I wasn't really working much, if at all, some years, because I didn't go back to work after having him. So I just did bits of work here and there, which meant whenever it came to school holidays, there were no issues because I was just at home. So now I'm still at home, so things could be a lot harder because he's 10, so he's not old enough to stay home by himself for long periods yet. But I'm working, so it has the challenges of needing to keep him entertained, you know, needing to give him good nutritious lunches and that kind of thing, but also fitting it around work. So what did we do? Well, he did cricket camp for like a half day for each day of a week. That was a clunky way of explaining that. But yeah, he did Monday to Friday in the afternoons. So my son loves cricket. He loves football too. Those are his 2 main sports. And he loves lots of other sports, but those are his favourites. And he plays with a local team in the summer. And the coach there actually said to my husband, who takes him, that, you know, my son has got a real knack for it and it would do him good to get some extra practice in to really hone those skills, because they've actually referred him to train with the county cricket for Oxfordshire. I don't really know how that all works yet. We're waiting to hear. But anyway, because he loves it, we did that. So he went to this week-long cricket camp, which was pricey, but I think worth it because he really enjoyed it. And it was just good to have that week where he had a good solid afternoon of activity every day, so I didn't need to worry too much about, you know, not being able to do much to entertain him the rest of the day. He's old enough to not need entertainment in the sense that, you know, I can leave him to it, but then left to his own devices, what he wants to do is play computer games and chat on the phone to his cousin while they play computer games. And he would happily do that all day, every day. And obviously I am not happy for him to do that all day, every day. So it's a balancing act. We had the Olympics for 2 weeks as well, which I think I probably said in my last video when it was coming up to this period that I am more than a little bit obsessed with the Olympics. I absolutely love it. So I like lived and breathed Olympics for 2 weeks. I had it on more or less constantly. I I was cheering on our team, enjoying watching just all the amazing sport from people from all around the world. Love it. We have a particular soft spot for swimming in this household because my husband used to be a swimmer. Not like those kind of swimmers, but you know, he did it pretty seriously. He trained a lot when he was growing up, and he competed nationally as a teenager and that kind of thing. So we watched a lot of that, and I really liked the gymnastics, and gosh, I can't even think. It feels like so long ago now. I do quite like the athletics. We enjoyed watching some of the random crazy things that are newer and just fun and different, like skateboarding, and they had break dancing this time. Ooh, rowing. I really like rowing as well. And the cycling. I knew I was forgetting something. We really like watching the cycling in this household. So I enjoyed watching all our favourites, and then lots of other random things as well, just like how it's supposed to be with the Olympics. Everyone always jokes, right? It's that time when you become an expert on sports you've never ever seen before. And the funny thing is, I'm not even a sporty person. I don't really do any sport myself. I don't really watch any sport usually, apart from maybe big competitions. And yet I love the Olympics. Weird, isn't it? I even did a special limited edition Olympics putty for my Etsy shop, which there is a small amount still available of if anyone is interested, because that was pretty lush, if I do say so myself. We actually went even in 2012 when it was in London. My husband and I managed to get tickets. My son wasn't around then. We didn't just leave him out. And we went to see swimming. We got an evening swimming session. And if you had tickets for something that day, you could also just spend the day on the Olympic Park. So we just went and had a day down there. It was so cool. Really fond memories of doing that. It was hard to get tickets though. Like, we applied for lots of things and we only got them for one. So yeah. And then another thing we did in the school holidays was my nephew stayed. I've probably said before that my son and my nephew are incredibly close. This is my sister's son. They're not the only two boys on that side of the family, but they are younger than the other boys by a long way. And they've just always been really close, and they just get on really well. And yeah, he came and stayed for 5 nights, and they had an absolute whale of a time. My son was devastated when he had to leave. We'd have a big talk about how, you know, fun things come to an end, and the only way to avoid the sadness of it coming to an end is to not do it in the first place, and that wouldn't be better because he was just, yeah, devastated. But that was a really fun few days. My husband was working mornings in the holidays, so they would hang out in the house in the morning with me, and then usually my husband would take them out in the afternoon while I was working. So they did so much stuff. They did loads of swimming. They went to an aqua park as well. They did like trampolining and climbing. They did so much stuff. We went bowling. We had a meal out. It was really fun. I think we were all sad when he left. I was sad, you know, to see him go, but also for my son. And yeah, it was wonderful. Hope we can do it again. Right, that one I think is as full as I can get it. So, let's see. Oh, I shouldn't have. Fingers crossed I can fit it. Right. I'm going to write on one of these spare ones down here that it is 938. And hope that I can fit the rest of it in this container. Is it gonna work? I'm not starting a third container for it, so. Oh, I'm not sure it's quite gonna fit. I don't think I can push that anymore, really. Okay, so there are a few leftovers which I'm going to put in a little baggie. I'll use what's in the baggie first, and then this one first, and then I'll be left with just the normal container. So as I go through it, it will get easier. Okay, so that's those. What's the next biggest? These ones. It's probably just from the colour that I just left, but just did. I'm just going to chuck that one. So 3857 can take the last big container, and then see, I don't know if those are both going to fit in one of those. I might have to repeat what I just did. So I shouldn't have separated those because I'll forget. What a mess. Yeah, so we did loads of fun things, and then of course we went on holiday. So I've mentioned before that we are lucky enough every year to be able to go to this caravan that my parents own in West Wales. And there's been a caravan on this site in my family since the 70s. My grandparents had a caravan there first, and then my parents sort of took over the reins when they were gone. So I have spent my whole life going there. We used to go just all the time for weekends and holidays as well, but you know, just we'd go down for the weekend when I lived at home because it's only a couple of hours drive. These days we only ever go really in the summer, because from where I am now it's about a 4 to 5 hour drive, which while my son's been younger it just hasn't been appealing to do. I know that people in bigger countries geographically than the UK might think that that sounds a bit wimpy. But in the UK, I don't know, that's considered a pretty long drive. And yeah, it doesn't ever seem worth it to do that for a weekend. Get there really late on the Friday night after school, and then all the Friday night traffic, have Saturday, and then get up on Sunday and have to clean up the caravan and come all the way back again. It's, yeah, as much as I love it there, that isn't worth it to me. So we just go in holidays now, and usually only once a year because, you know, you want to do other things as well. But it is my favourite place in the world, and my husband and son love it there too. So it's just such a wonderful treat to get down there every year. We did a fair bit. We were there for 9 nights this year. And we didn't want to have it like be really full on. So we did have a bit of downtime, but we still managed to fit a fair amount in. I just remember sitting there on the first afternoon we got there, picking up a book and just feeling so blissed out that we were there that I felt like I didn't want to go out and do anything because I just wanted to relax. But of course, you know, you don't go on holiday to just sit around. As nice as that would be. So we did go out and do lots of things that my son wanted to do. We went to a farm park that's very nearby, which we go to every single year. We usually do it on like the first day because my son's just obsessed with it. So we did that as per tradition. You go to the farm park and feed all the animals that they have there. You buy feed to give them. And then after you've done that, you can walk down over the cliff top. And watch from the cliffs, and you often spot seals, very occasionally dolphins. But yeah, that was fun. And what else did we do? We went to a place called Heverton, which is a sort of adventure park that my son really loves. Manor Wildlife Park down near Tenby as well, because my son is an animal nut, can never get too much of that. My husband and my son did lots of beaches. I don't particularly enjoy beaches, so they tend to go off and do that by themselves because they'll be happy there for hours. I would be very fed up and ready to go home quite quickly. So it just works out better if I stay back and rest up. And I use that time to do some Lego, do a tiny bit of diamond painting, and just lots and lots of reading and walking around the site and just enjoying a rest, because I did really feel ready for a rest going on this holiday. Sorry, just had to cut off there because my phone was ringing. That was my son's school because he's been involved in an incident where he hasn't done anything wrong. Oh, someone's messaging me. I'm all flustered now. He's got in the middle of, one of his friends was being chased by someone who was very angry, and he's got in the middle of them, and then he's been hit on the head. So the school was just ringing to let me know that he's obviously been hurt, and that they've spoken to him about how that was very, very admirable, but you need to be careful because if someone's very angry, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. And the teacher said she was also thinking ahead to next year when he's in high school, and he's probably going to be the smallest kid in the school. So yeah, proud of him for looking after a friend, but worried for him as a mother that I don't want him getting hurt. Anyway, they said he's fine. They're just letting me know. And obviously the other child is being dealt with. So yeah, fun times. I never know what to do in these scenarios. But yeah, just glad he's okay and hasn't been too badly hurt. Where was I? I was talking about a holiday, wasn't I? Oh no, I've just spilt loads of that one. Okay, I've picked a few up, but I'm also just trusting there's enough in there that if I let a few go, that'll be okay. Gosh, I'm really all over the place now. What was I talking about? I was talking about the holiday, wasn't I? Well, anyway, we did lots of fun things. We ate out quite a bit. That's our big treat every year, because we have the very good fortune to be able to stay in this caravan, so we're having a cheap holiday. We are able to spend money that we might otherwise have had to spend on the actual holiday on just like really treating ourselves. So we ate out at all our favourite places. Had a really good time. The only thing that was slightly problematic was, oh god, I keep finding more of that one. My son had a slightly upset stomach at times. He I won't go into any details, but he was sick one evening and then he was absolutely fine. So we actually thought he'd just eaten too much and drunk down a load of water quickly and just sort of unbalanced his stomach. But then a couple of days later he was ill again. And then again the next day he was pretty much fine. You know, he was eating less than usual. But that was the only sign that nothing had happened. And then a couple of days after that, my husband's stomach had a little bit of a wobble. He was mostly okay, so there was no big deal. It didn't affect things too much because, you know, it was the mildest stomach bug ever. But you don't want to be ill at all on holiday. We've had that before. Well, we've got form for it, to be honest. A couple of years ago when we went to Portugal with my husband's family, we all had a proper bug and were really quite poorly. Well, my son was poorly. My husband was not great, but not terrible. And then I felt really poorly after I caught it from them. And then my husband and I, when we went on honeymoon back in 2009, lost most of our first week to food poisoning. Both had these burgers for lunch, and a few hours later, yep, all the fun began. We were in Cuba, so we did get to experience the famed Cuban medical care. They looked after us very well. But yeah, get ill on holiday more often than we do at home. So it was a wonderful holiday. I think by the end of it, I was quite ready to get home still. I often am, because I'm quite a homebody anyway, and you know, I miss the cats and just having all my things available. So I was ready to come home by the end, but it was a lovely, lovely time. And like I say, I did really feel like I needed a break this year. I was doing a lot of work prior to going on holiday, both the stuff that I needed to be doing right then, but also trying to get ahead of myself, knowing that when I came back in September, it was going to be really busy, which it is. And I also had, I don't know, I had some weird stuff going on over the summer, but I don't know if I was ill or not now. I don't know if it was more dodgy data. I had a few days. Oh, I'm going to have to blow in this. Hang on. Hold that thought. I few days of feeling like I was having palpitations, like feeling really, really conscious of the feeling of my heart and feeling like it was racing. And then I was checking, my husband said one time when I was feeling like that, oh, have you checked your blood pressure? Because I have blood pressure issues. I'm on medication for it. So I went on my blood pressure machine, and while I sat there for a couple of minutes quietly taking free readings, as you're meant to do, my heart rate was jumping around from like 50 something to 90 something to 70 something. And for me, like, my resting heart rate is about 80. So a lot of that, like the jumping around that much was weird. It going as low as that was weird. So then I tracked it for a few days on my watch, and I also went to see the doctors, and they said, oh yeah, we need to investigate this. We'll do blood tests, we'll do an EKG, and we'll you know, you might need a 24-hour trace. So I was getting a bit worried. So I was tracking it with my watch, and my watch was showing several times a day where my heart rate would drop out to like 40 something, and there was one night when it spiked to 160 something overnight. So I was getting quite freaked out. But I stopped having the palpitations. I stopped feeling weird, and like when it would say that my heart rate had dropped to 40 something, I would feel okay, and that's not a normal heart rate. So it was weird. So then I got a better tracker, and that was not identifying these lows at all. So now I think maybe my Apple Watch was just misrecording things. And I looked it up, and it said, you know, if it's maybe not fitting snugly and that kind of thing. Except it was fitting snugly, and it's never done this to me before. And also, when I first identified that my heart rate was doing weird things, it was on a different device, and the Apple Watch backed it up, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just sort of ignoring it now. The other tracker says it's fine, so I'm trusting that it's fine. And just if I feel any symptoms, then I will get back in touch with the doctors, which was what they last said to me, basically. If you're not feeling any symptoms, there's not much to worry about. But if you have any more incidents of feeling weird and noticing this stuff, then get back in touch. So yeah, it ended up probably being pretty much nothing, but it did cause me quite a lot of stress over the summer because, you know, it's not nice feeling like something is not right in your heart. And I did have, sorry, this one's really staticky. I did have COVID in early June. My son brought it home from school, and COVID is known for being terrible for your heart. So yeah. Anyway, fun times. Hopefully it's all better now. But yeah, I needed that rest, and it came at a very good time. Getting there. Just a few more to go. Which of these are bigger? Those. Right, so I'll do these with the remaining bigger ones. Yeah, what else? Oh, I know what I forgot to say about the summer. We went back to Cardiff, right, this was back in July now, for my parents' 55th wedding anniversary. That was something that was pretty special. My parents decided to take the whole family out for a meal in a Portuguese restaurant that they particularly love. So yeah, that's a lot of us because I have 3 siblings. We each have a partner. Everyone's got kids. So yeah, it was, I think there was 16 or 17 of us. And one of my nieces brought a boyfriend as well. So yeah, it was a big old evening. We had 2 big tables in this restaurant, and it was lovely actually. It went really well. And we just had the best evening as a family. My family can be a little fiery at times. We love the bones of each other and are very close, but quite often, just because of different personalities and different temperaments, if we all get together and there's, you know, a little bit of vino involved, people sometimes bicker. And I don't remember an evening where we were all together and we all got on quite as well as this one. We just all had an absolutely brilliant time. You know, you just have one of those nights you think, I'm never going to forget this night. This was such a good night. And yeah, it was one of those. I think we were up till about 4 in the morning. with one of my sisters and her family. We were the last ones standing. But yeah, I was chatting loads like to nephews that I don't see that much of because they're grown up and they have their own lives, so they're not always able to come to family events. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And now it is back to real life. It's going to be a busy month for me, September, because we are decorating my son's room. So he's making the move from the small bedroom that he had as a young child to what is currently our spare room that has a double bed. And we got him a new bed over the summer, but all the rest of it needs doing. We've never decorated that room since we lived here. So the whole thing needs jazzing up for him to give him a nice room for his teenage years. So that's going to be the end of the month, but we've got a lot of kind of clearing up and preparation first. Because we're a little bit, definitely have some hoarder tendencies in this household. So there's a lot of stuff everywhere that we need to clear out. And then, excuse me, it's a busy month with my shop. Well, shops these days. Now I'm on TikTok as well as Etsy. I have got my Halloween releases coming out on Friday. I think I'm going to put this video up on Tuesday. So yeah, this coming Friday, Friday the 13th, will be my limited edition Halloween releases. So I have got Trick or Treat mystery putties, like I did last year, but with different scents. And then I have got 2 other Halloween themed scents. And I should have some cover minders available and that kind of thing as well. And I'll be selling them in bundle deals and also individually. And yeah, I've got a lot to prepare for it still. I'm getting there. I'm well on track to be ready for Friday. But yeah, it's a lot. So I'm excited for that. And then I'm also starting to make things for my advent calendar that will be coming out probably the 1st of November. So the advent calendar is something that I did last year as well. So I'm doing it again, 12-day advent calendar. Gosh, the light from that window, hopefully that's better for you. The sun was shining in so brightly, I suddenly thought you probably can't see anything. Yeah, so 12-day advent calendar will be coming out, which has putty and other things. And it is all planned out. I know exactly what's going in it and what I need to do. I just still have to make most of the putties. I've made a start. So there's all that on top of my usual, shop work of normal releases and restocks and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, it is all good fun. I love it when it's busy like this and I feel very filled with purpose, but it is chaotic. So yeah, I'm just hoping that I can be ready on time. I will be. I will be. If I have to work every hour there is, I will make sure I'm ready on time. But yeah, at this point in the week, it feels daunting. I'm getting my filming for the week done today. And then basically the rest of the week is putty, putty, putty. So yeah. Almost there. Read some really good books on holiday. I did this thing, so I saw someone on TikTok advertising a date with a book. So there's various shops on there. I think they were called Smelly Llama or something like that. The shop name, rather odd shop name. But anyway, they did a thing where you chose the genre of book and you chose a hot drink to go with it. And then it came all beautifully wrapped in a package. And you just had a book that had been chosen for you, and then all these other bits and bobs like a bookmark and post-its and some chocolate and all these nice things. And it was just really nice. I took it on holiday with me and it felt really luxurious and treat-like, you know. And the book I really enjoyed. I think what's it called? The genre I went for, I think it was labelled like fantasy or supernatural or something, because a lot of them have been sold out at that point. And I think the book that I had, I don't think it really fit in that genre at all, because I do read books in that genre and it was nothing like them. However, it was a really good read that I enjoyed a lot, and I actually read it in a day and bought a new book by that author, which has just come out. What was she called? Kate Robb, and it was, oh, I can't remember the name. I'll have to put it on the screen because I'm terrible. So yeah, that was good. And I've been reading some Jodie Picoult. I always enjoy those. I read something honey. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. Wild Honey, I think. Again, I'll put it on the screen if I'm talking nonsense. And now I'm reading another one of hers that I started on holiday and didn't finish. I always seem to read hers on holiday. I don't know why. But yeah, it was so nice to have time over the summer to actually read. I listen to audiobooks more often than I read actual books these days, because I can do that while I'm diamond painting or making putty and that kind of thing. I'm listening to one now by Rebecca Yarros, who is the author behind Fourth Wing, which is a series that I absolutely love. And if you do enjoy fantasy fiction, read it, like instantly, because you will love it. It's one of those books that absolutely gripped me from the first page. A friend recommended it and I was like, oh yeah, all right. And then as soon as I started reading, I was into it. And me and one of my sisters recommended it to another sister, and she was the same. She was like, well, it looks a bit expensive. I don't know. I'll get the sample. And then a couple of days later, she was like, yeah, I've bought that book and the sequel and I can't put them down. So yeah, she has other fiction that isn't fantasy in the same way, but is still very enjoyable. And I've listened to a couple of those now. What else have I been up to? I don't know. How has everyone else's summer been? If you're still listening, drop me a comment and just tell me a little bit about how your summer has been and what you've been up to. You know, do you have kids and you've had to deal with school holidays? Have you been on holiday anywhere nice? Have you got up to any fun activities? Let me know. I love to hear from people in the comments. Oh, so yeah, let me know what you've been up to. Almost done. Quite ready to be off my feet, actually. So I'm going to edit this and get it set to upload for tomorrow. And then I've got a few more bits of shop prep to do, but I'm taking it fairly easy today because the rest of the week I know is going to be manic. I do need to put up a post in my Facebook group in a little bit as well to sneak peek the first of my Halloween scents. If you are not a member of my Facebook group but you have interest in my putties, you should join. It's linked in the description box. And yeah, I chat in there about all my upcoming products. So I do sneak peeks of new scents and then let people know there first what's coming. And I sometimes do giveaways, like when I hit milestone sales achievements or just if I fancy it. And people get to help choose my next putties in there as well. So yeah, if you are a customer of mine, or even if you just have an interest in my putty and haven't tried it yet, it's a good place to be. So come join, the more the merrier. So yeah, I need to start putting up sneak peeks for my Halloween scents, and then I need to actually do some more labelling of them because there's a lot of labels to go on these scents. Okay, last colour. I love the colours of this one. All those shades of orange and red can be so fun. Although I hope they're okay to work with, because I know that dark drills have the reputation for being bad for trash. I find orange drills can be really problematic. I'm not sure why, but that just often seems to be the case. Right, so I'm going to squeeze these leftovers into a spare container. and then see how I can, it's not worked very well, how I can rearrange these. And it might mean that I can't have all the spare ones in here, but that's okay, I can put them somewhere else. So, right, I'm just going to do my number order, which is what I typically do. So let's take some of these big ones out to have some room. Or all of them even. Okay. Oh, there's really deep, I didn't notice this when I unboxed it, but the channels for these are really deep. They're not going to slide around much, well, at all in between. So, where is number 1? I'm probably looking right at it, aren't I? Ah, I wasn't, in fact. I was looking for a blue for some reason. 1, 2. There's 4 ready. Where's number 3? Here, number 3. Right, 3, 4, 5. Ah! Does anyone else do this where you just cannot see things for looking? I can see 6. Ah, 5. Okay. What's number 7? Because that's probably not going to fit, is it? Oh, it just does. Okay, that's a good start. And then 8. I probably should have just cut off before I started doing this, because it's maybe not terribly interesting, but I've started now, so I'll finish. And then 12 goes there. That is going to be done. 13. 14. 15, 16, 17, 18. I think this is going to be hard to get them all to fit, you know. I might have to do some swapping around. 20, 20, 20. Where are you? Wherefore art thou, 20? Oh my god, I'm driving myself mad. I know they must be right there in front of me, and I'm just not seeing them. 20, 21, 22. Find everything but the one I actually need. Where is 24? Ah. Oh, I was looking for 23. I didn't even know what colour I was looking for. No wonder I couldn't find it. 26 next. How am I still doing so badly when there's hardly any colours left? 26, 27, 28, 29. Now it comes together. 30, 2 of those. 31. 32. 33, 34, 35, oops, 36, 37, cooking on gas now, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, and then why do they not seem to go in properly? Right, can I fit some of these in spaces? Okay, I fit them all in. That actually went better than I thought it was going to. So there you go. I am all kitted up for To Grandmother's House We Go. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of my pick for a Halloween kit this year, and let me know what you're working on if you're picking out a diamond painting for Halloween this year. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like on it, and if you have enjoyed what I've done here but you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that too, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye.